Hey parents, it's Jessica Coulter here, CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. Today I want to talk about your study habits and how they compare to your teens. Because I gotta tell you, if they are different than yours, then I can tell you you might be in a world of hurt right now. Especially if your kid is getting into those tough classes or is just not wanting to study. So let me know down below, would you say that your teens' study habits are the same as yours or different? I want to know. And the reason we're talking about this is the fact that study habits and a love of learning go hand in hand. So, on your journey to helping your kid have better study habits, I want to welcome you and encourage you to join me in my event next week. It's all about teaching teens how to love learning again. So if you want to join us, all you gotta do is click the link in the description and sign up with your name and email. So let's talk about it today, guys. Your study habits. So for those of you that said your study habits are different than your teens, I've got to tell you that you're not the only one. Okay, that is a problem many students have had with their parents. Many problems parents have gotten to enjoy or go through with their own kids. So I can even tell you for myself, my mom and I, we don't necessarily study the same, especially when it comes to math. She just knew answers. It drove me insane. I'd ask her for help on a math problem, and she'd know the answer, but she had no idea why that was the answer. She didn't know how she came up with that answer. She just knew it, okay? And she happens to love history too, which is my totally least favorite class. But that just goes to show you that subject matter can differ between you and your child. It can also matter of how you do the homework, how you prepare for those tests. So just acknowledge that it can happen. It does happen. You're not the only one. So what do we do about it? Well, I've got to tell you, the very first step, probably the most important thing, is to realize you might study differently than your son and daughter. That's why I wanted to give you those examples. Make sure that you're aware of that. Now, if you study the same or your kid studies the same as you, you're very lucky. We'll make it easier for you guys to get along, work together, make sure those grades are as good as you want them to be, as good as your kid wants them to be. Now, if your kid is, say, a visual learner, I'm very much a visual learner, so I like my colors, I like to see things, I need to read, and you're very much a hands-on, let's just get up and do it, let's go ahead and just start it, don't bother reading, let's not look at anything, let's just go, and start building. Totally not going to mesh very well with your teenager, okay? You're trying to teach them this way, but they learn in this way, okay? So this versus that is not going to meld well. I can guarantee you that. So be prepared for some headaches if you guys are wanting to learn and you're trying to teach in the wrong way for your child's learning style. Okay, before I go into the next part of this video, want to let you guys know we're on YouTube right now and on Facebook. So hit that subscribe button on YouTube, the follow button on Facebook. So last thing to give you guys here to kind of help you, those parents that are watching that have kids with different types of learning styles, that are studying differently than you, is do know that sometimes you just kind of have to accept the fact you don't know why it works for them, you don't know why your kid's doing it that way, but yet if your kid is learning, if your kid is getting those great grades, then that's okay. You don't have to understand. I have talked to parents who have told me, hey, we learn differently, we study differently, made me crazy, I didn't know whether it was working, why it worked for my child, but at the end of the day, my kid passed the class. My kid did really well in such and such class. So I want you parents to focus on what's important. Is it important for your child to learn like you, to study like you, or is it important for your child to do well and be able to study and to learn on his or her own? Because I gotta tell you, your kid knowing how to be self-taught, how to learn something today, tomorrow in class, and even 30 years from now in a different job, I want your kid to have that ability, okay? And that is what we're going to be talking about next week. Because if your kid doesn't love to learn, especially your teenager in middle school, high school, or college, then that love of learning is not going to lead to awesome grades. It's not going to lead to an ability to learn anything because you won't have those study habits. Your kid won't. So be sure to join us next week at the 4-day totally free all online event called How to Get Your Kids to Love Learning. So all you've got to do to sign up is click the link in the description. So join us so your teen can learn to love learning again. And once your kid knows how to love learning again, I can guarantee you're going to see a change a positive improvement in your kids' classes. So thanks so much. See you next week at the training.